Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the Run Your Day podcast. As always, my name is Dan Hafner, CEO and founder of Runwage. Thank you for joining. Today's topic inside of the last theme of the week, making a difference. The topic is this, the one thing. Thank you for joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, where our goal is to expand your focus and perspective on life. This is your daily dose of motivation, mindfulness, and so much more. And now, here to help you take your day back, your host, Dan Hafner.
All right, everyone. Happy Friday. You made it through the week. Well, almost. It is Friday morning, so still got one day left here, but I know that you're going to be on top of your game today, and it's going to be a good one. So go out there and make it a great Friday today. Thank you again for joining. Really excited to come to you once again today. I am really having fun with this podcast, and I was really excited about this show this week. Before I do that, I do have a couple quick things to mention. If you are really getting a lot of value out of this show, please go to my Facebook page and like the Runwage page. I'm really trying to start building up a following, starting to get some momentum for when I'm going to launch the app here coming up. So I really appreciate that. Please also give me a follow or like on Twitter. At Runwage is my name. Just really trying to grow my audience and reach as many people as possible. And again, if you know anyone that would really appreciate this show or get value out of it, please share it with them as well. So that's just my quick little plug for the day. So I'll get right into the topic of the one thing. Really what I mean by this is if you've ever heard the expression of the one big domino, right? I know, I think it was Tim Ferriss. He would always talk about like what is the one domino that is standing in your way from keeping you from knocking down all of the other dominoes that you're trying to get to. So in our lives, we can run through and do a whole bunch of things. We bite off more than we can chew. We're running around like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to do a million different things. And I'm like this too. You know, I got all this stuff going on. I got 90 million things I'm trying to get done and do, and I seem to never have time for everything. His approach is more, stop doing something, maybe like stop running around like crazy for a week. Or I know not all of us have that much time, but even just take on the weekend like a couple hours in the morning or afternoon or whenever you have time, and just go for a walk, go for a run, just be alone, meditate, whatever you got to do, and seriously try to think about your life in a different perspective and think, okay, what is like the one thing standing in my way from getting what I want? Or what is the one big obstacle in front of me that if I can overcome, the rest of it is going to be cake, right? And a lot of times this is hard to identify, but this can make the biggest impact and difference, not only on your life, but on other people's lives that you serve, like even inside of a business. Like, what is the one thing that is keeping your business from growing, or what is the one thing that's keeping you kind of stuck in your career in order to try to get a promotion or get a raise or anything like that. There's it's sometimes it's hard to identify the one thing, but if you really kind of wade through all the fluff and the extra things that don't really matter, you can usually whittle it down to one thing, either whether it boils down to your effort, whether it boils down to your attitude, whether it boils down to getting one deliverable project out the door, or whatever it is. If it comes down to one thing, all of your energy should then be shifted to focus on that one thing in order to get it done. And it sounds so simple, and it's not, like I said, nothing I say on here is really groundbreaking or super deep, insightful, new thinking. It's just simple. It's something that it's easy to forget, and implementing it can make all the difference in your life. it's very easy to forget these types of things as you're going through your normal routine. You got kids, you got pets, you got jobs, you got all this different stuff pulling at your attention, and it's so hard to make time for yourself. Um, but that is really a critical aspect of self improvement, of basically trying to be the best that you can be, and it is really something that you can't miss out on. And focusing on what you need to do in order to move yourself forward will not only help those around you, but it will just basically give you a better sense of satisfaction and confidence about yourself, which will then translate over into other people. I never used to be a big believer in the aura and energy of people in the universe. Like, I always thought that was a bunch of crap. But the more that I've done things and the more that I've changed myself and changed the way that I approach things, the more I realize that, like, that stuff has merit. If you do go into a situation or your entire day with a negative aura or a just a grumpy attitude, like, it's going to spread. It's not just going to be you. And every collision that you have with somebody throughout the day that you approach that with is going to be affected because of that way that you're approaching that. In the way, the place that you're coming from is not a place of good energy, so it's going to affect the rest of the room that you're in or the people that you're with. And like I said, I never used to be a believer in this stuff. Like, I really did not. I was like, that's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I do not think that that affects anything at all. And I think one of the reasons was because I was that person that was always kind of in a negative place and very pessimistic and very just kind of like, whatever, I don't really care. And then once I realized that if I just changed that and if I just changed that approach, things worked out a lot better for me because they always say, like, the bulk of our language spoken as humans is body language. So if you're just kind of walking around all day with a mopey face or your shoulders hunched or just kind of looking at the ground, you're not going to be approachable. You're not going to be you know seen as someone that someone could go to for a problem, or your boss might just pass by you on to the next person to talk to somebody else because it's like, well, they're obviously not in a place to talk about this, so I'll go to the next person. So, that for me, it was that. For me, it was, okay, if I can change like, what is the one thing that I can change to make things better? It was my attitude. It was my approach to things. Like, become, how can I basically put forth more positive energy and more better, like, good feelings out into the universe and out into the people that I'm colliding with every day. And I've found that it comes back to you multiple times. And I didn't set out with it with that selfish intention to, like, get things back. It's just a natural consequence, right? Like, if you just go out and you're nice to people, like, people are going to be nice back to you. It's just that simple. 99% of the people in this world are nice people. They'll do the right thing. They're honest. They want to help other people. I mean, you do have bad apples. Like, there are bad people in this world. Don't get me wrong, but if you're constantly going through the life your life like I was, in like a perpetual, just like, almost, I don't want to say depressed state, but almost like a, just like, bleh, like, I don't care. I'm gonna focus on me and do whatever I got to do. It really doesn't get you anywhere because you're not setting yourself up for being able to receive anything from putting out those good vibes into the universe. So for me, that was the one domino, I guess you could call it, or the one thing that I needed to overcome in order to change things. And since I've done that, it has basically allowed me to explode in ways that I never thought that were possible for me. It's allowed me to be more well received at my job. It's allowed me to be more creative in my business and more just come up with better ideas and be more productive. And it's really affected the way that I function on a day to day basis. regardless of what is going on in my life. Like, regardless of how stressful things are or what's going on, I always remember that, if I can overcome this feeling that I've had a lot of my life of just unworthiness and not being accepted and not being able to succeed, the rest of it, everything falls into place. It really does. So that's my challenge for you today. Like, think, even this weekend, think, what is the one thing that is standing in your way that you need to overcome, which will allow you to then be better or have a better shot at achieving what you want to achieve or going where you want to go. So that's my challenge for you, and I hope that you all have a good weekend. I would love to hear any of your thoughts or comments on this. Like I said at the beginning, please go to the Facebook page and like my page. You can always comment on that. I'm going to put this post up on the page, and you can always just fill in your comments and let us know. We would love to engage and have some collaboration with this, some collision with this. And if you have anything that you think would be helpful for others, I'm sure they would appreciate it too. So until next week, thank you very much for joining the Run Your Day podcast. As always, this is Dan Hafner signing off, and we will talk to you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.